there was basically a whistleblower with the Texas state troopers who had been, who I must have gone to the press with what Governor Abbott has been doing in the Rio Grande, creating these sort of buoys that are wrapped in razor wire and putting them in the areas where migrants cross in the Rio Grande, causing the drowning deaths of a mother and two children, cutting and injuring dozens other of migrants, making it very difficult and dangerous for immigration border patrol to go and help people, even to capture them as they're trying to come across the Rio Grande, because it is just as dangerous if you're a migrant trying to cross, or essentially a cop trying to go get them or keep them from drowning. And so yesterday, the Justice Department filed suit against the state of Texas over these floating barriers. The New York Times reported there's been a growing outcry among Democrats and even some in Texas law enforcement over other increasingly aggressive tactics the state is using to block immigrants, including installing additional layers of concertina wire, which is razor wire. I don't know why they don't. Along the banks of the Rio Grande, state police officers have been shouting at migrants to turn back, and in some cases, refusing to provide water to people who request it. The federal government's arguing that Texas is in violation of the section of the Federal Rivers and Harbors Appropriation Act that prohibits the placement of structures in waterways without federal approval. This Times piece mentions that several officers inside the agency have raised concerns. We talked about that the other day. But Border Patrol officials have also complained to Texas law enforcement that it's made it more difficult for border agents to help migrants. It could lead to more drownings. On Friday, 80 Democratic representatives in the U.S. House, including all of those from Texas, signed a letter to Biden urging him to investigate the Operation Lone Star program. So the federal government has filed suit. We'll see what happens. I mean, this is,
That's good, but again, undercut again by Biden's own militancy at the border, his continuation of Title 42 for way too long, his turning away of Haitian migrants, other migrants, but when you militarize the border this much, you enable this kind of brutality. That's just what happens. But it's a good story. It's a good news. It's good that the Biden administration's
it was quick.
Yeah.
And the idea that the Times, though, and I don't think they were the ones who broke the story of all of this coming from literally the people who are responsible for enforcing these things. It's coming from his own goon squad of border patrol people that he has put on the border are coming back and complaining, saying what we're being asked to do is inhumane. How inhumane do you have to be? Are your policies that your own border patrol people, whose entire reason to exist at this point is to prevent migrants from coming in, are saying it's too inhumane? That's pretty impressive, I guess, but not in a good way.
Yeah.